I'm going to be talking about a theory about Squid Game, so there's definitely going to be spoilers ahead. So in my 7 questions answered about Squid Game video, I was answering the question, was number 1 safe during the games? Claiming he was obviously safe during the marble game, and he was most likely safe during the sugar honeycomb game as well. During the tug of war game, you can see that he has no locks on the handcuffs connecting him to the rope. This is what the locks should look like, and when you look at number 1's cuffs, the locks are just not present. And for the fight night that happened in the episode Stick to the Team, he disappeared for most of the brawl, but at the end he appeared on a safe elevated bed above everyone else. In fact, number 1's cries to make everyone stop fighting is what cues the front man to then turn on the lights and send the guards in. During this explanation, I said that there was no indication that number 1 was safe during the red light green light game. I was told by my friends who watched some other theory videos that they were given explanations for how number 1 was actually safe during the red light green light game. They were saying that he was safe because when the sensor on the little girl robot scanned over number 1, he was highlighted in a special green outline. And within that outline, he wasn't filled with the same green color as everyone else. And these videos were basically saying that because of those reasons, number 1 was invincible during the game. And after posting my questions answered video, I also received comments that were saying the same thing. So I don't know what videos are out there spreading this information, but I'm about to ruin their day. So after watching this video, if you think I'm right, please share this video wherever you learned about these false theories. Let's go back to episode 1, red light, green light. At this time code in the episode, the camera scans past number 1. This is the first time you can make out who number 1 is in the crowd of participants, because before this shot, the lens was too wide to tell who anyone was. Plus, number 1 was hanging out in the back for the first half of the game. It wasn't until after the slaughter at the doors that he started to advance forward and run to the front of the group. Anyway, this is the first time we see a shot of number 1 through the robot's camera lens. And in this screenshot, you can see that he is outlined in green, just like everyone else who is not moving. It's easy to think that he has some special highlight on him when quickly looking at this shot, because there's a lot of people sharing the same outline with him, but even his eyebrows and his chin are highlighted in green. For participants like number 81 and number 237, it kind of looks like bats from Fallout. I believe the people behind a certain theory like this are claiming that if number 1 is not covered completely in green, that he's safe from the little girl killer robot. The green glow is vibrantly cast over everyone, but then begins to dim as the camera focuses. Number 1 is at the center of the shot, so he's the most in focus. And the participants closer to the center of the frame are also outlined the same way, and are not filled in with green. These 2 other participants at the center of the screen have as much of a green tint to them as number 1. When the camera zooms in on 250, his body has the reddish tint to it, but like number 1, he's completely in focus, so his body isn't fully illuminated with the red. It's more of just a distinct outline. These participants are highlighted the same way as number 1. They have a distinct outline but are not fully tinted green. The eyeball lens also distorts the image and smudges the green glow across the edges of the screen. Number 1 wouldn't be highlighted red at any point unless he was moving. But then if he was highlighted red, he would have died, and we wouldn't be talking about this. Oilam created the games out of boredom. He got a bunch of his rich clients together, who are the VIPs, and started this meat grinder of a competition. They didn't feel anything due to their significant wealth. In the season finale, number 1 claims that during his childhood, he had so much fun doing things with his friends, implying that he had a childhood that was similar to Sunggi-hun's, as we saw a glimpse of Sunggi-hun's childhood through a flashback in the first scene of the series. Sunggi-hun claimed that winning the Squid Game as a kid is what made him feel as if he owned the entire world, exhilarated. It's fair to assume that number 1 felt the same way, since 456 and number 1 already have so many parallels. Number 1 wanted to feel one last thing before he died, and claimed that he wasn't going to get that feeling by just being a spectator. Then he confirms that participating gave him that feeling, so it would kind of defeat the purpose of that if he wasn't in real danger. Don't get me wrong, it's safe to assume that number 1 was safe during the red light green light game, knowing that he wasn't shot during the marble game and he didn't have locks on during the tug of war game. But when he was in the games, number 1 was still at risk, as he was at times alone with participants. And as we already saw, someone could try to kill him at any point, as the participants killing each other was part of the game. And even though he didn't have locks on his cuffs during the tug of war game, who's to say he wouldn't get dragged off off the edge regardless of the safety precautions, because he just may have been given an advantage, but him being completely safe during all the games is still unknown. So who's to say that he was safe during the red light green light game? Because my evidence points to the fact that he wasn't. So that was my explanation trying to debunk those other theories. If you liked my explanation and want to see me do more videos just like this, let me know in the comments, because I would really like to keep making more videos about Squid Game. And if you have questions about Squid Game, I do have a questions answered series as well. If you go and comment your questions there, I may answer them in an upcoming video. I also have an ending explained video that I worked really hard on, and you should definitely go check it out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next Squid Game video.